is. Okay, well, let's talk about the year-end giving from those two perspectives. And also I want to add that what I've seen happening over the last 3 or 4 years is that co-ops are embracing this idea of year-end giving. And the co-ops that are embracing it with a strong foundation and active participation, active engagement from the co-op to the public. Those are the co-ops that are having success. You know, as you have seen, Paula, just creating a page that says donate doesn't necessarily get anyone to do anything. So we have to do more work to create the foundation for these folks to want to participate. So what does that foundation look like? So we're going to go through these in a little bit more context, in more detail, but generally speaking, we got to set the foundation up for this process. We have to make sure that we not only have a website, but we have a communication strategy, and we have the right materials, and we have a communication plan and a timeline, and we know exactly what we're going to say and when we're going to say it. And we have to tie it all up with a bow at the end. So let's walk through each of these areas in more detail. When we're talking about the foundation of the plan of your year-end giving program, it's important that you build a team of people. This isn't something that one person can do. Raising money, it takes a village, just like it does to open a co-op. You know, I mean, this is not a small task. So I think you're going to need 3 people, maybe 4 or 5 people, depending on your skill set. But you're going to need some hands on deck. You need to set a goal. So that might be, Mary, a $350,000 goal in your instance. For a co-op who's not actively campaigning, who's not actively raising money, a smaller, more tangible goal might be more realistic, like $25,000 or $50,000, but a specific dollar amount and a defined use of those funds. So we can't just raise money to raise money. People want to know why. What are we going to use it for? Why is this important? What are the what are the repercussions if we don't raise this money? So really being able to clearly articulate how we plan to use those funds is really important. And then creating a plan is also a big piece of that picture. So once you have your team, you set your goal, and your goal should be a SMART goal. I think it goes without saying, but it should be realistic, and it should be timely. It should have an end. People respond to deadlines. So, you know, we want to raise $25,000 by November 25th. That's a goal that the audience can respond to. And we see people, and Mary will attest to this, I believe, in your fundraising work, that people do respond to deadlines. When the deadline comes,
It's
right?
not going to happen without deadlines. So it will not happen. No.
Yeah. Right. Which is why these Day of Giving events are so successful, because you have only one day to do it. You have to do it today if you're going to do it. And so when we have a deadline, people respond. Okay, so your plan has got to involve communication. And when we're thinking about fundraising, we're thinking about, you know, how people receive and process information from us. So it's likely that you have an email distribution list or a newsletter. You've got social media channels. Some co-ops are incorporating text messaging now. So you want to think about the different channels, including your website, where owners and the public are going to be getting information from you. And we need to create a strategy for each of those channels. So for the email side of things or the letter side of things, some co-ops take the opportunity to actually send a snail mail letter for a year-end giving campaign, and that can be effective. But we have to keep in mind that everybody and their brother is sending a year-end giving email or letter, so we want to make sure ours stands out. But when we're talking about those written communication pieces, whether it's digital or hard copy, we need to announce the campaign has started. We need to remind them that the campaign is happening once in the middle, and then we have to remind them again near the deadline, and then we have to follow up. So even if this is just a month-long campaign, let's say for the month of November, we want to do the season of giving or this year in giving, or the month of December, let's say, that's 4 email or 4 letters that are going to go out in that time frame.
What was the second one?
A midpoint reminder.
Okay, so announce it.
Yep.
And then I have remind, and then I have follow up.
A midpoint
And-
reminder and then an end of campaign reminder. So like
Oh,
if
got
the
it.
campaign ends on the 25th, we send a reminder on the 24th. Like tomorrow's your last
Got
day
it.
or today's your last day. Yep.
Okay, and okay, reminder and
And then a
midpoint
wrap
reminder.
up kind of celebration email.
Got it. Okay.
And when we're doing this kind of work, we really have to amp up our presence, both on social media and our website. So I recommend that during this time frame that your homepage is either focused on your fundraising effort or link, or it's clear what's happening, like if it's not the main focus of the homepage, it's on the homepage with a direct link to a page that's about your fundraising efforts and your social media as well. So that means changing your cover image, changing your profile picture, and then it also means regular posting. I'm noticing, I don't know about you guys, that engagement on social media is really lacking, if it's not paid. And I'm seeing that co-ops aren't getting the same kind of engagement that they've been getting organically lately. Are you guys seeing that?
I don't know, honestly, Katie. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
I
But
have been.
I do have, should I hold my questions, Katie?
Yes, Mary, why don't we do that? Yeah,
Hold them until you get through.
sure. Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, let's do that. And if I don't
Yeah.
hit on the topic, then we'll answer them at the end. Yeah.
Right, okay.
But to answer your question, I have been doing some paid more, and yeah, and they've been getting a higher numbers, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not posting as regular as I need to. We need to get an intern. We need a social media intern. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great for all of us? I'd like one too.
Yes, we would too, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What I'm noticing, what I'm hearing from co-ops I'm working with is that it's harder and harder to get that organic reach. And so we really have to be intentional about what we're posting and if we're going to boost it or pay for ads and what those ads are saying or what those posts are saying and how we're saying them, how we're making the ask. And so charting out, I'm a big fan of a calendar, a content calendar where, if we're gonna, let's just say this runs November 1st through the 24th, we plot out exactly what we're gonna say on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and including in those posts are testimonials. So that is a huge advantage that we have when someone decides they want to support the co-op is asking those folks to allow us at least to use their name, if not to give us a testimonial about why they've contributed. And that positive peer pressure really works magic. When other people see their friends and neighbors supporting the co-op, they are more likely to do so themselves. I also encourage the use of press. And this varies greatly based on your geography and your local media. But for sure, a press release announcing the beginning of your campaign is warranted. If and when you hit your goal, another one celebrating your success is warranted. There are different schools of thought on press releases and utilization of the media. And that, in my experience, is based on our local markets. Some of us have local media outlets that are real receptive to what we're doing or that are real engaged with what we're doing. Some do not. And so I encourage you to get to know your local media and understand what works in your community and if that makes sense. But a letter to the editor campaign or, what's that other, when you write a letter, there's another word for it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did
Opinion or
something.
something, or
What'd you
What-
say, Mary?
an opinion or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, an op-ed.
An
That's
op-ed,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
Yes, an op-ed. Yes, absolutely. Those kinds of things really do work. And with ChatGPT these days, is depending on how you feel about ChatGPT, it's pretty simple to create something. And then, it's not the end all be all. Of course, we have to make it ours and edit it and fine tune it. But I encourage you to utilize your press. Local radio stations often are looking for people to interview, and PR stations are looking for local press, and we can often get some good traction that way.
Mhm.
And mapping this all out, as I mentioned earlier, on a calendar is an excellent idea. So the new, the email or letter goes out on November 1st. And that's when we change our website, and that's when we change our cover image, and that we've got the post scheduled for that day, and then we have every day out documented as to what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it. Okay, so then we have the materials. So what are you gonna need to create this communication? So I encourage you to create a logo for the campaign, so that it incorporates your co-op's logo maybe, but is targeted specifically at your fundraising efforts. And you want that logo in lots of different formats. You want it usable on social media, you want it usable on your website, you want it usable in your newsletter. And if you've got someone on your team who's good with graphics, they'll know exactly what formats they need to put that logo in so that you're ready, you have what you need when you're ready to create those communications. I like the idea of a testimonial template so that you have, when you have 5 or 6 folks who say they want to do a testimonial for you, you can just simply copy and paste their picture and their quote into a template and post it. It can be quite easy if you go that route. I also love the idea of a thermometer that keeps track of your progress. Everybody loves to see visually how we're doing. And we can get creative on that. And I have some examples that I'll show you here in a little bit of other co-ops that have used some creative year-end giving thermometers. And utilization of a QR code is helpful too. Everyone seems to be
Right.
using those now, but if you got one that takes people right to the page you want them to be on, that is really helpful. Okay, so in terms of that engagement, we have to, I've kind of said this already, but we have to increase our frequency. If we're posting on social media now once or twice a week, we need to be posting once or twice a day. And we also need to be asking. People only do what they're asked to do. So it's one thing to create a page that says, we're having a campaign and we want you to donate or we want you to invest, but we've got to actually ask them to do that. And I'm seeing a lot more co-ops integrating events into their fundraising.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if that's information sessions, if it's, honey tastings or coffee roasting seminar or something that draws people in, but at the same time gives us an opportunity to talk about our fundraising efforts, that those seem to be more and more effective, especially post-pandemic. And then we've got to make sure that we're keeping very good records and we wrap this up well. So tracking very specifically who's participating and what level of participation is really important. And then you're going to have people who say they're going to participate who just don't follow through right away, who say, yes, I'm going to send you $100 and $1,000, whatever it might be. And a week or two goes by and you still haven't seen that. And that's going to require some follow-up. 99.9% of those people are going to come through and give you the money that they said they were going to, but it's just going to require some work on our part. And we have to be able to invest that time and energy to do that. And then thanking them. It's very important. I'm a big advocate of a handwritten thank you note. I think it goes a long way to build a relationship. And it's a nice touch when you get something in the mail that's not a bill or a political advertisement of some sort. It's it's a kind of a breath of fresh air. Okay, so I have some examples. So I'll stop now, Mary. You can ask your questions and then we'll
Yeah.
look at those examples.
All right, so we have an open store. So my thinking is we have 1,500 people that come in every week at this point. So there is going to be a handout for them with the logo, with the QR code. Many of them are not owners, so it will give them an option to join, become an owner, donate. There's 3, yeah. So that's one thing. The staff will be trained to hand out those cards to everyone who comes into the store. We do have events. We have an owner appreciation, which the GM is managing, from October 26th through November 1st. So it seems to me that a table in the store about someone, which I'm totally happy to do, in the store on the busy shopping times, which are later in the day and on the weekend, would be really critical to connect with owners during the campaign. And then we also have a November 9th event, which is I'm very excited about. This is a Native American chef who's going to be preparing food, for the holidays using Native American cooking. And that's something nobody's done. So that I think
Very cool.
would be a big
Yeah.
Love
plus.
it.
But I
I
have
love it.
another question. So
Yes.
Anna, my partner, well, she's on the board, she's the lead, I'm helping her. They're working on the website right now, and from what I understand, Matt, our GM, because we are an open store, he didn't want the landing page to just have CAP campaign. He wanted, like, you get to the grocery store and then the next page is about CAP campaign. Now, Anna, our lead on the Capitol, she wasn't completely, it's not settled yet. She's not very happy with that. She felt that it should be the first thing you see, or at least something about it on there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm on Anna's team. I think it can be both.
Yeah.
I think you can have the grocery store, I'd go look at your website, Mary, and tell you, but I think there's a spot on there on that
Yeah.
landing page that has to say something about the
CAP
campaign.
campaign and the dates
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
maybe the QR. Yeah, I think Anna's right with that. Matt, he was trying to like set it up, but our designer can't do that where like the first page is really fast, but you can't control the timing on those flipping, like that kind of opening a book approach. So I think I will tell Anna, I told her that I was going to this seminar and she was really excited to hear that. And Paula, just so you know, Katie did work with us on our capital campaigns and was a tremendous help to us. I could
She's
not.
gonna work on ours too eventually.
Without, well,
I hope.
you're gonna pay Katie, okay? She's a paid consultant, just to be clear. But anyhow, she's well worth the time and money. And she's very affordable. Okay. I mean, she's very fair in what she charges. I could not have done that campaign without Katie's help, tell you the truth.
Of course.
I
Yep.
could not have. No.
Yep.
No way. So that was kind of what I wanted to get your opinion on and how we could incorporate in the CAP campaign into these events. Now that we have an open store and we have a captive audience, people coming into the store. Is there anything else, Katie, now that you've heard from other, and I was going to ask JQ or I keep forgetting his name, Chris Dilly.
Yeah.
If they had examples of other open stores, like Open 15 Months that did a campaign and that
Yeah.
was successful. How did that go?
Yeah. So, I just am wrapping up work with Oshkosh Food Co-op.
Oh,
they've
you
been-
are, Oshkosh.
Mhm,
Yeah,
they've been in
sure.
the process they've been open for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, longer,
Okay.
yeah, quite a bit.
And
Yeah.
they're raising capital right now, they're calling it a recapitalization campaign. And I do
Oh.
like that terminology, recapitalization, because it sounds businesslike and official and like we know
Yes.
what we're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And they wanted to raise, they were converting some loans. They had initially done loans in their original campaign, and they're converting or extending those loans
Uh-huh.
from preferred shares or to preferred shares,
Oh, right, right.
or extending the loan term out
Mhm.
longer.
Oh,
And
I
so
see.
they wanted to convert X number of loans and then raise $150,000 in preferred shares.
I see.
They ended up selling about $60,000-ish of preferred shares.
Mhm.
And I will tell you, and I have told them, and I think they would agree, that where they fell short, where we fell short, was the in-store activity.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Well, it
So
seems to me you have a captive audience.
exactly,
Yeah.
Mary,
It's
Right.
like.
exactly. We
Yeah.
didn't necessarily have um, we didn't necessarily have as robust support from the general manager as I would have liked. And I shouldn't
Oh,
say support. I would just say, the GM was so busy operating the store that it was
mhm.
hard for him to focus on this recapitalization effort. So whenever
Yeah.
we had meetings or discussions about it, he wasn't necessarily part of those conversations. And so there was loss in translation when it went from me to the committee to the GM to the staff. And by the
Oh,
time it got to the staff, um, they weren't interested. I mean, they were, these people are paid, you know, barely above minimum wage, hopefully, but more if we can afford it, but they're not making a lot of money. It's a job, it's not their career, and
Mhm.
they're not as invested. And so, um, to no fault of anyone's, I don't think necessarily, but we did not capitalize on that captive audience. Honestly, we
Mm,
didn't, we
yeah,
didn't take advantage of that.
right.
Does your store offer a couple of things I had, a couple of thoughts I had, Mary? Does your store have a roundup at the register?
We do, yeah. For the
Is it
Glenwood
possible
Market,
to
through,
divert that to this effort for the time being?
I don't know, it's through the end of October, Glenwood. It's a thought, and it was brought up to me by Jillian. Jillian is writing communication, which is,
Oh,
she's a
good.
fabulous writer, so.
She is, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really
I
helpful.
consider that, Mary. I do think that's a positive, easy way for people to participate, and it keeps your message linear. It's
Yeah,
not like give to this people, give to us, do this. It's like, no, here's what we're doing right now. Give to us. You can write us a check, or you can do your roundup at the register, but it's the money's coming for the co-op.
right, right. I
Um,
wonder how we can take it in at the well, we could take it in under the roundup. Yeah, because they're
yeah,
doing it now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Jillian did bring that up when I met with her the first time, but I see that a lot of non-owners in particular might be willing to do, who knows, $5, $10 and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
absolutely, absolutely.
um,
I put a link in the chat to this year in giving folder, and there's a folder of some graphics, and there's a checklist in here, as well as a couple letters from two different co-ops that
mhm.
they sent out. So I'll open these graphics just so you can get an idea. This was Westchester's, they use this on social media. I would say this has too many words and
Yeah, yeah,
not enough
ours is really
visuals.
simple. Ours is very simple. And
This might be a nice mailing,
yeah,
something to stick in the mail to someone, but I wouldn't necessarily put this in your, social media. This is a Purple Carrots,
mhm.
um, carrot,
Oh, right, because
thermometer.
that's their name. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. And, this one is Free Range Food Co-op. So this was a social media image they use with a QR code. Um, and there's a few
I
other
like the
examples in here.
season of giving. Yeah, and just a
Yeah.
plain, I said to Anna, we're not going to use the onion. It just doesn't work well for showing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a few examples in here that I'll let you guys look at. But the
Nice.
checklist I think can be really helpful. Oh, well, this is the wrong checklist. Oh, let's take this one out. Well, I have a different checklist. That's it's a simplified version of that checklist. So I'll make sure to get that added to the folder, but it has all the things we talked about, summarized into each of those categories.
Mhm.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
She already has put that together, Anna, she's strong on communication,
Yay.
the lead, Anna P.
I like it.
Yeah, she is really. Okay,
Um,
well, I'll have to get that worked out with Matt then, as far as getting something on the landing page, even if it just says CAP campaign. Then the other thing, Katie, we have about 400 owners that joined since we opened a year ago, and they have not been part of any capital campaign. So we
Mhm.
thought that a separate emailing to them, a separate, like giving them a bit of history, other people have something like that. She's big on segmenting out the marketing.
Yeah.
Anna as well, so.
I love this. Yes,
like-
I agree. I
I
think that's a
like
great idea.
I like that idea as well. And then I thought I would write a personal letter being owner number one. And our staff are very beloved. People really like our staff. And our GM is not in the store. It's a different kind of situation there, but it's going to change. But for now, it's okay. He's fine with the staff, but he's on board with training them and handing out. Anna's already talked to them about that and handing out the piece of literature to everyone at the checkout, giving it to them. And Anna is putting together some talking points, and we'll review that together for the staff.
Great.
But he's on board with that because he understands the urgency. First of all, he
Absolutely.
doesn't want the staff with that broken situation of getting the forklift broken, and the lift gate needs to be installed before we get into freezing temperatures here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what I was thinking in my letter, that I would focus on, positives, and then the staff, making sure that they have what they need. They've been loyal. Everyone loves them, and let's get that lift gate done. Let's
Mhm.
get the deli done. Let's really
Yeah.
get
Right,
rocking
right.
and rolling here. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a great plan, Mary. I think that's a great plan. This is the simplified checklist that I was telling you about. So you can see
Okay.
there's each of those corresponding areas with all the
Mhm.
subtasks there. So,
Wonderful, wonderful.
this might be helpful to take Mary to your meeting, or
Yeah.
Paula, when you're thinking about putting together a plan for the end of the year.
Right,
Kind
right.
of walking through that.
Mhm. So do
Exactly,
you
you
think
just
a
saved me a lot of
different
time.
plan for the Giving Tuesday, and then maybe a separate push, like this part that we're doing now will end on November 24th? That's already been decided, whether we raise 350 or not. And then we'll just do another campaign next year to raise the rest if we don't reach the goal. But should we then after that, what day is Giving Tuesday? Isn't it the Tuesday
So Tuesday after Thanksgiving, right?
after Thanksgiving? So we could have something for that. Would that be separate from year end, Katie? A separate?
Yeah.
It would be, yeah.
I mean, you could integrate it into a year-end giving, if you wanted to make that part, like you could kick off your year-end giving with the Giving Tuesday.
Oh,
Uh,
I see, the kickoff, okay.
mhm. But it does, part of success is simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to make it too complicated, like,
No.
okay, Giving Tuesday starts today, but the campaign lasts till next Tuesday. And if you want to give today, use this link. But if you want to give after today, use this link. Like,
Oh,
let's
no.
make it very simple
Yeah.
and straightforward. And we can leverage Giving Tuesday without complicating the
Mhm.
process.
Yeah, just use the donate button, and that can be public to everyone, Giving Tuesday.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, so we would just,
Yeah.
Giving Tuesday is Giving Tuesday and year end is year end.
Well, okay.
Go ahead, Paula.
I have a few questions and I just
Yeah.
looked at the calendar. So Giving Tuesday is on Tuesday, December 2nd.
Second, yeah.
I
Oh,
thought it
okay.
was like November, the end of November or something. So,
Was Thanksgiving so late this year?
Oh,
yeah. So would you say like perhaps end of year giving, like kick it off on that Giving Tuesday and then maybe go to the 20th or the
Yeah.
15th or
And
something?
there are people who give at year end, like literally December 31st, people who
yeah,
wait that long.
no,
So I don't know that it's necessary to cut it off before
Oh,
then.
oh,
Um,
okay.
because
I was just,
if you really are, if you're approaching that market of folks who do this at the end of the year, they give to the causes that are important to them, that goes through the whole month.
that's
Um,
true. They'll do it
yeah.
on the 31st or the
Right?
30th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm. Especially if they're tax savvy
yeah,
and they need and want
that's
a
right.
tax write-off. Yeah.
Okay, so the whole month of December, even through the holidays, and some people,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
different than like, yeah, holiday.
And you
Okay,
could
can
take
I
a
go?
break communication wise. Like you don't have to be, like on Christmas Day and
Yeah,
Christmas Eve. Like it doesn't have to be all gung ho all the time. But
that's
yes,
right.
I would. But go ahead with your
Okay,
other questions. Yes.
okay, so my main question is, so you were talking about people promising to pay kind of thing, because that's where I was wanting to work with, like having people pledge kind of thing, or like, how does
Mhm.
that work?
Yeah. Yeah. So many co-ops will use a pledge form.
Okay,
So even just a simple Google form that you can embed in your website and link to in your social media that collects contact information and pledge amount and communication preference. Um, and then um, follow up, that would be logged in a spreadsheet. And then you could have someone who's following up to check your accounting systems to say, okay, Katie Novak said she was going to send us $100. Did she really? And oh yeah, here it is in our account, or here it came through our fiscal sponsor. Yep, we have it. And for the ones that we don't have, then we follow up and send Katie a note and be like, hey, Katie, you said you were going to send us $100, but we haven't seen it yet.
okay,
we
so
use a pledge form, Paula, and we're using one now too. It's very helpful to have a pledge.
could you send that to me, what it looks like?
Sure, yeah.
Because like, so do they have like a date where they say I'll pledge by such and such? Like, I don't want to
No,
bother
no,
them,
no,
kind of,
no.
but
No,
No.
they fill it out and you follow up right away. You send
okay,
them a letter thanking them for this amount of donation, and here's how you make your donation. However
okay,
you want them to make it, or mail a check, whichever
okay,
way you want. Yeah,
okay. That
yeah,
would be really helpful because I didn't know how to do that and
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. These are all things to get in place when you're planning fundraising.
yeah. Okay, okay,
And
great.
it's helpful too if you articulate when you're asking people to make a pledge, like, hey, that we want pledges fulfilled within 7 days, or
Yeah,
whatever the time frame
Oh,
is, 14 days, or whatever you decide is appropriate for your co-op, but giving
yeah,
them a window for expectation, like, hey, I can make this pledge today, but I don't have to write the check till next week or whatever.
exactly, right. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, and so then, testimonials. I mean, I'm thinking, like you said, photos. Like we do testimonials. We ran out of them, so I have to reach out to the owners again. But getting a photo will be more of a delay. But you're
Yes.
thinking that's more successful.
It is better to have photos of pictures for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Having said that though, you can get lots of pictures pretty easily. If you find people on social media, if an owner pledges $100, whatever, and you find them on social media and you can take their profile picture, you can send that profile picture to the owner and say, hey, Katie, you said we could use a testimonial. Here's a picture from your social media. Do you mind if we use this photo to
Okay.
promote so
Okay.
thinking of ways to make it as easy for people and for ourselves as we can.
Right.
Because
Right.
that follow up to get the photo, to get the write up, it can be kind of cumbersome.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then you can also pre-write testimonials.
Oh.
And so you could send, you know, if you had, let's say Mary was interested in a testimonial, but she didn't know where to start. You could send her this list of 5 or 6 testimonials and say, do any of these resonate with you as a starting point? Feel free to edit it and send it back
Mhm.
to us.
Right.
Or feel free to pick one of these and I can edit it for you and see if we can get to a place that works.
That's helpful. So then, do you guys have any lists of these, or is this where I would use Chat GPT kind of thing to help with some testimonials?
You could probably try ChatGPT.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, I think you could for a year-end kind of donation thing, there probably wouldn't. I'm sure they could do that. Um, I'm sure Mary has examples she could share with you, and I have bazillions
Okay.
of examples we could pull together if we wanted.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, that would be awesome if you could, but if not, I can do Chat GPT. Um, okay, and then I'm finding it seems like videos, people like videos on social media.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
So
do.
even like a video testimonial.
Yeah, that's
yes, that would be
preferable.
awesome.
All
I
right,
just
maybe that's
learned how
next
to
year.
do that myself.
What'd you say, Mary?
I just learned how to do that. I took my first ones at a co-op event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Nice,
mean, you just do it
nice.
on your phone kind of thing, right? And
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I did, but I never did it before, ever.
Got it. Got it.
And
Um,
another way we could do that is on Zoom. You know, like if someone was willing to get on Zoom with you, you can record the Zoom meeting
ah,
and use that as a testimonial too.
that's a great idea.
Mhm.
That's easy.
Right? Then you don't have to be in the same place at the same time and
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Let me see. Shucks. Okay. Oh, I got the dates. And then yeah, like you're talking about logo and you're meaning like logo specific with adding copy with Day of Giving kind of thing.
Mm,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah. Okay.
right. Yep, yep.
Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, never mind.
You sure?
Just that I'm founder number one also. And
Hmm.
so Mary,
Oh,
do you find yourself doing that, like writing like that because it's really meaningful coming from the founder?
Yeah, I didn't do it for a long time, until people started saying she's owner number one, and that seemed to get some attention. So I thought, well,
Yeah.
okay. But I
Oh yeah.
didn't start out that way. I never even paid it to be honest. It was a few years before people started referring to me as owner number one.
Yeah.
But
well,
I'm
how
not on
lucky
the
am
board
I?
at the moment, so I need some credential. So my credential.
Owner number one is enough for me.
Yeah,
But how lucky am
exactly.
I to get to be on this call with 2 founding owners?
Yep,
Pretty
like
cool.
minds. Yeah, yeah.
That's right, that's right. Great minds think alike.
Yep,
You
yep.
gotta stay with it, Paula. You gotta keep that number.
Well, yeah, yeah. It ain't going anywhere.
Well, that's good. That helps a lot.
Any other last minute questions or things we want to talk about outside of year-end giving?
Now, was there anyone else? I could reach out to Oshkosh. I think I have. Is Brenda still involved there?
Yes, she is not as involved as she used to be, but she's still on the board.
Yes, still on the board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But that,
absolutely, I would reach out to them. I think that's a great idea, Mary. And the other thing I thought about for you, Mary, that we didn't talk about is staff training.
oh,
Making sure
right.
they understand, because people are gonna ask them, because they're in the store. So going
Yeah.
through some FAQ with them on why we need this money, what we're gonna use it for, that
Yeah,
kind of
well,
stuff.
that's what Anna is going to put together, and I'll
Great.
help her with that. Put together some talking points for them. And
Perfect.
mainly, I think they can refer people to Invest At, and that'll be on the talking points. Invest at Wild Onion Market, and people
Perfect.
will be answered there.
Yep,
But yes, she's putting together some talking points. I don't expect them to have time to say a whole lot, because when they're busy, it's pretty busy.
yeah,
But they can at least have a couple of sentences to say and make sure they hand the cards out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I
So
actually do have one more question.
Yeah. Paul.
So you guys are familiar then with Mighty Cause? You guys,
I am
both,
yeah, it's
not.
part of CDS. It's when they would get the thank you, I had to put that in the instructions because people were, what is Mighty Cause? It comes from Mighty Cause, their acknowledgement when they donate through CDS.
Is Mighty Cause part of Give MN?
Yeah, it is,
Okay,
Katie.
okay,
Yes.
all right.
part of what?
Give MN, and that's where CDS is part of too.
Oh, I see.
Capital
Okay.
M, capital N, Minnesota.
Yeah,
Give
Minnesota,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
It's from
Yeah, yeah.
Minnesota.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if, yeah, so, because right now on our website, we do have a donation page that is linked to our fiscal sponsor. And then I'm wondering, so with Mighty Cause, we have like a 3-year contract with them, like the foundation that started them. And so people can donate through the link of through the Mighty Cause and go, again, it'll go to our fiscal sponsor. I guess I'm just wondering, should I still continue to use Mighty Cause or put a separate end of year giving page on our website?
Well, you have a local fiscal sponsor, Paula, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's just one county over, the California Center for Cooperative Development.
And what do they charge you fees wise
Uh,
compared?
I think it's the same. That's a good
Well,
point.
I wouldn't use two. It's very confusing. I would only use one. What do you think, Katie?
I think there
Yeah.
are people are gonna give for two reasons, because they wanna help you or because they want a tax benefit. And so the most options you should offer are two. One, direct to your co-op that they can do without tax benefit, but better end result for the co-op.
Yep.
And the other being through a fiscal sponsor. So I would pick one of the options for fiscal sponsor and that be the one that you choose. And I would go with the one that's cheaper.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Mighty Cause charges. I think like
They
my
do
seems like
charge. Yes, of course they do. Yeah, they start out at 10% and it goes down as low as 6%. Or
and I was
Give MN does, yes. And the one thing, if you're local one, it's local. That means a lot to people these days. That's
Yeah.
why we had a lot. Where is this place in Minnesota? I can't tell you how many questions I answered about that.
Got it. Got it. So I can just kind of replicate the page, the information and the video that I shared on the page and stuff like that, but use it directly through our fiscal sponsor and not even use Mighty Cause. Because it sounds like the community foundation, Solano Community Foundation, they hired Mighty Cause.
Oh,
And there's like 150 different nonprofits that were doing that Day of Giving on October 1. Because I don't think that I'm paying anything through Mighty Cause and that it's going straight to our fiscal sponsor. So I'm paying the percentage for the fiscal sponsor.
Sponsor, yeah.
the other
Okay, that
thing
makes sense.
too is to find out how easy is to get disbursements. How good are they at managing your money and how easy will it be to get disbursements, Paula?
You mean through Mighty Cause or my fiscal sponsor?
Yeah, yes.
Got it.
Well, I know through Mighty Cause, through CDS, Give MN, I know how that works.
Yeah, like they give a report at the end of the month, so
Yeah.
like, but they're giving the money not to me, they're giving the money to our fiscal sponsor.
Oh, okay, right, but still, you're getting a report at the end of the month. But your fiscal sponsor will be the one cutting the checks when
Yeah.
you request a disbursement.
Yeah, and that's interesting because now that you say that, our fiscal sponsor gives checks for reimbursements, right?
Yeah, right.
But the Mighty Cause with this, it's like a no, I forgot what it's called, where,
It's a pass-through. It's a pass-through,
right.
basically.
So maybe that the money from, all of the $450, or even if I used Mighty Cause, maybe that money would come I don't know, I guess the fiscal sponsor would hold on to it. Our contract says that they do it, they disperse the money, after we incur the expenses.
Right, you have to
Okay,
submit.
all right, so that probably
invoices.
would, yeah, that wouldn't change. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I have to get to another meeting, my friends,
Yes.
so I
Okay.
need to go, but it was
Bye.
great to see you both. Thanks for being
Yeah.
here.
Thank
And
you,
I'll,
Katie.
And Paula,
I'll send a
I will
follow-up.
send you, just send me Paula's email, Katie, and I'll send her a copy of the pledge form that we use. Yeah,
Oh,
that
thank
would be
you.
great.
Okay, sounds
Thank
good.
you
See ya.
so much, you guys. Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
bye.
Paula.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, Mary. Bye.
Nice to meet you too.